So for today's episode, we're going to be talking about CBD oil. I believe it has so many facets of positivity to it. It's often underutilized. And I've had people reach out to me and say, Aaron, my anxiety has been kicked up a lot with this, or I'm really struggling with sleeping. And sharing whether, out of curiosity, what kind of strategies can we look at in terms of increasing my level of wellness, to people who have shared stories with me about how CBD oil has really had so many positive life-altering effects in their life. And for some people, when we talk about CBD oil, and I'm going to explain exactly what it is, there's some confusion, some dilution, things that are convoluted of what the heck is it. You can see CBD shops really anywhere you go. Within 3 miles, you probably have a CBD shop somewhere if you're within your town. So cannabidiol totally killed it. But CBD oil that can be used in different forms, whether it's inhaled, whether it's taken orally through drops, gummies, even in food. It can be taken and consumed in different ways. There has been quite a significant amount of research that's still going on in terms of what the benefits are. And I come to you today saying that I am not a physician. This is not about replacing medical advice from your doctor. And with any decision that is made, going in and doing a consult, giving them a shout, asking for a few minutes of their time, and seeing what their thoughts are, if this is something that you want to incorporate into your lifestyle. And CBD is something that I incorporated into my own life a number of years ago. I struggle with anxiety, but I found as time goes on, there's so many benefits, it's unreal. I believe we are in a society, in the United States in particular, that is very much focused on easy fixes, very much kind of a vending machine when it comes to medication. And I am not putting a slant on medication at all. It can have tremendous benefits, but too often it's the first thing we go to without exploring other options. Right? And I believe anytime that you're taking medication, when it comes to mental health, it is really important initially to pair that with counseling. I believe that with all my heart. And when it comes to CBD, the use for it can really be massive. And I will never say start taking CBD oil and cut cold turkey from your medicine. Absolutely not. And this is where having dialogue with whatever decision you make is really important with your physician. Absolutely important. So we're breaking down what the heck is CBD oil. First of all, when it is CBD comes from a hemp plant most of the time. And with that, where the confusion starts, it's saying, because I've had people say this to me so many times, Aaron, I would never try CBD oil. I don't want anything that's mind altering or addictive. And I'll say, well, that's not what CBD is. It is not habit forming. It is not psychoactive where it alters your state of mind, because what that is actually THC. THC is a psychoactive substance. It comes from the marijuana plant, right? And there is CBD oil. To be legal, it cannot exceed 0.3% THC, which is a pretty obsolete number. But I know in terms of being able to scientifically say, well, how much is within this substance? 0.3 is the limit in terms of THC. So THC comes from the marijuana plant. CBD oil that you're dealing with when it comes to taking it for medicinal purposes comes from the hemp plant. There is no psychoactive properties within that, and realizing that's a huge one. Does not alter your state of mind. It is not addictive. And what I found that I just think is fascinating, that CBD interacts with the body through the ECS system, right? Which is, I'm going to again try to pronounce this word, the endocannabinoid system, which regulates the body's homeostasis, which is our general state of balance. That in itself that impacts the function of our mood, sleep, appetite, hormone regulation, along with pain and immune response. So the really interesting thing is when it comes to CBD, what the benefits have the ability to do. I'm not saying anything is cured. I'm not a doctor. But what I have seen both personally and professionally, and I always say with whatever decisions you make in life, research. Don't just hop on Google or some random article and take it just as that. Do your research, dig, find out, and make a decision for yourself. Just with anything, I believe that with all my heart. Three-ish years ago is when I really, as a therapist, really started to dig deep and thinking and learning about the benefits of CBD and how that paralleled with when it came to overall wellness. I was seeing so many people that would go to their psychiatrist for the very first time, and there was no relationship, and within 45 minutes, most of the time, not all the time, they were being given a prescription for some heavy duty stuff with no follow-up. And that's not always the case of happening, but I saw it enough that it was raising red flags and seeing kids on multiple medications. And I think meds in the right context can do great things. But I had young people who were struggling with anxiety they were taking meds and they're like, it's not working for me right now. I want to know what my other options were. Weren't able to get up and get to school. Weren't able to be able to consistently be present at work because they were so anxious, anxiety-ridden, and depression. And it said, parents calling me, inquiring about what are some other options that you know about? What are some other things that we could look at? Again, I am not a medical professional, but I started to dig and I started to research and I started to talk to people within the mental health community, doctors, and finding out what the heck are the benefits when it comes to CBD. And to me, I was like, holy moly, is this underutilized massively? So when we look at the benefits, what are some things that taking this substance can do to benefit somebody's life? It has been found to assist in alleviating anxiety, depression, pain, increase heart health. Insomnia is a massive one. Diabetes, arthritis, easing temporary inflammation. Has been used for those with on the autism spectrum, as long as with seizures and epilepsy. I will tell you the story after story after story of people who have said, Era, I've tried strategy after strategy, whether it be a medication, whether it be, and I think diet is massively important, but just little things, that absolutely connect with our wellness, diet and exercise. But I'm still struggling. I feel like I'm in a rut. And I've had conversations where I've said, why don't you research it? And it's been really, really neat. Some of the feedback that I've received over the years where it's, well, this has really changed my life. I'm sleeping better. I am not in pain all the time. My lower back pain or my arthritis is just that the swelling is not what it was before. My migraines, story after story, and anxiety and depression are the two biggest ones that I've gotten feedback where I have seen it change people's lives. And again, I'm saying if you're on medication, this is not going cold turkey. It's having dialogue with your physician and making an educated decision. Again, this is when it comes to CBD oil. You can have CBD that does have THC in it, and you can actually get it prescribed depending on what state you're in. If you get a card and you're still corresponding with a physician. But for the most part, my focus today is CBD that is really void of THC. That's kind of my focus for today. Because I believe right now, the past few months, we have so many people that are feeling stuck, feeling my outlets that I've normally had in terms of decreasing my anxiety. I'm looking at things around me. I'm feeling kind of like, I don't know what day it is. I'm feeling funky. What the heck is going on? Well, when we're going through a time right now where, the normal shops that we've gone to, going for coffee, meeting friends, all these things, birthday parties, graduations that are part of our essence, our culture that's kind of been taken away from us in a lot of senses, it stinks. It's unfair. It's frustrating. It's trying to, navigate through that. And with that, it has triggered a lot of anxiety, and it has this surge of depression for a lot of people. And what I say is, what are some other options? I've talked about this before. It's getting outside, getting some sunlight, getting your body active. What you're eating is massively important. Another thing and why we're talking about today is CBD oil. Looking at, and this is what I'm going to shout out to, because I've had people say, I've taken the CBD oil, and again, not everything works for everybody, but whereas it didn't work for me. And I will say what is really important if you're looking at taking that step and investing in yourself and investing in CBD oil is getting a good quality product. You're not getting it at TJ Maxx. You're not getting it at Target. You're investing in yourself, and it's going to, your closest CBD shop, doing some research. I know I'm actually an affiliate of CBD Pure. I've done research over the years where I didn't want to spend $1 bazillion, but at the same time, I didn't want to compromise what I was putting in my body. I want to know it worked, where it wasn't diluted, it didn't have water in it. Where's it coming from? Where is the plant actually grown? Didn't have pesticides on it, all that jazz. And so I made a decision to go with CBD Pure, and I've been taking it for a few years. One of the things that has been awesome, at times, whether I've had a hard workout or, in the process of moving, gosh, my back hurts like heck, or my hands are hurting after, and I haven't surfed in a while, but where I've been using CBD ointment. And holy cow, has it been awesome. I know other people are like, hey, I can't take the drops air, so they do the gummies, right? Finding out what works for you. And so, again, I say this not as a physician, but as somebody, as a counselor, as a person who's seen so many people just struggling right now, looking at what are some alternatives. Having a battle plan when it comes to going to places emotionally that we haven't been before, or that we've been before and we're revisiting, and we're tired and we're trying to figure things out and we're anxious. Well, what can we do? What are some options? And I say to you, if this is hitting your heart, or somebody who's really struggling right now, right, on my anxiety, my this, not only do I say, when it comes to the mental health component, reaching out to a counselor, and I know there's so many that are doing things online right now, to looking at CBD oil, right? And that the other offshoot of that where the counseling doesn't come into play is, I have arthritis. I'm not sleeping really well. My body's achy. I'm the diabetes, arthritis, so many things. So here's my shout out to you: is do your research, get to know. I think the more we know, and you make the decision, hey, that's not for me. Rock on, that's your decision, and that's fine, because it isn't appropriate for everybody, because not everybody is, having these challenges. I know for myself, when it comes to CBD and taking it, it's really been a game changer for me. I know, I've talked about mental health for many years now, and so often it's very easy, especially through social media, even podcasting, where we can seem like everything's great, everything's awesome. Well, in life, not everything is great. Not everything's awesome all the time. We have our struggles. I struggle with anxiety. We've had about 1 bazillion different things going on right now in the context during, the COVID-19. It's been really stressful. I know for me, finding ways to have a battle plan, and that's what I'm eating, getting my body moving, getting out in the sun, FaceTime calls with people, Skyping, to CBD oil has really helped in me keeping balance to the best of my possible ability, right? I am not in control of everything, but one thing I can do is advocate for myself, and this is where CBD oil, man, just is tremendously, to me, it fascinates me, and something I want to learn more about. And if you're on medication and you're like, you know what, I'm on the fence, I think I might try this out, talk to your doctor, have some dialogue, and ways how can it be incorporated, is amazing. So I'm throwing that out to you. If this is something that you are interested in and you have questions for me, shoot me an email, aaron@goodnesschick.com. You could private message me. I will say, if you're looking for a solid product, hop on goodnesschick.com, hit my storefront up, and that's where I have my CBD oil. You click it, takes you right there, and at checkout, be sure to type in 15%, the actual word percent, because you'll save 15%. Boom, that's pretty awesome. That always helps. And I say, when it comes to taking CBD oil, just like anything, we can really be impatient, and this is not working right now. Well, just like anything, just like medication, nothing works right away. It takes a few weeks for it to get in your system. If you're taking it via oil, I always say, put it under your tongue. You keep it there from 15 seconds to 60 seconds. That does help in terms of absorption. And if you have questions, I'm not a doctor, but I will do the best of my ability to answer that for you. CBD oil, my friends, is something I believe in with all my heart. And when I do get passionate about things, it's something I do want to share with you. So today hope you're having a good one. I hope with wherever you are listening to this, that you're taking time for yourself, having a battle plan for yourself when it comes to your day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, and year-to-year, because you are precious, you are wonderful, and you're worth fighting for, my friends.